What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have Luke Skywalker at Data Vault versus Mother Talzin at Crystal Caves. We've got Carson on the Luke deck, Mackenzie on the Mother Talzin deck. These are two newer players to our local community here, and this is really our first big event since they picked up the game, and hats off to them for volunteering to be first on the recorded games for round one. So both of them again are newer to the game. They've been coming to our locals now for a month and a half, maybe 2 months, month and a half. I think I'm going to say month and a half. So they've been a great addition. As everyone knows, all communities can always use new players, and SWU community seems to always attract really good people, and these guys are no exception. So it's been a pleasure to have them at the store each week. So store Showdown. I'm on the mic again. I'm attempting to commentate. I will do my best. Mackenzie's taking a mulligan. Carson's ready to go. So I'm just filibustering. Is that what they call it? Where you just talk around in circles. We kind of dropped off a little bit in our gameplay videos. We've been taking things a little bit more serious. Just trying to be more competitive. I am really leaning heavily into going to the Galactic Championship, and I just haven't quite pulled the trigger on it yet, but I'm darn close. I would really like to go. All right, initiative is with Carson. He's going to start us off with a, what is that? Cavern Angels X-Wing. That's what I'm going to call it. I can't quite remember what it is. It's one when defeated, deal 2 damage to a base. It's a 2/1. And then Mother Talzin, Mackenzie throws down a Karis. We've seen the Mother Talzin deck out there. Dinosaur won a PQ in Quebec with a Mother Talzin yellow. I haven't tried out his build, but I would like to take it for a spin. I've got a PQ coming up in 2 weeks. Must be one of the last PQs. There's air superiority. Not exactly sure what that does, but I think it's if you control more space units than your opponent, deal 4 damage to a unit. Enemy unit? Ground unit? I don't know. Karis is dead. That's what really matters. And Shin Hati is on the scene. Carson activates Luke because that little X-Wing is a fighter and it attacked, so knocking the shield off of the Shin Hati, which is a pretty major unit, I think, for the Mother Talzin deck. So yeah, it's been a while. It's been since last summer, I think, since I've done any commentating on videos. So I'm going to be rusty. But I am just going to sit here, talk. You guys throw comments in the comment area, and I will respond to them. You know, just inflate my head a little bit. Just be like, man, he did a real good job. Shin Hati goes into the base for 4. Gaining the force for Mackenzie. I don't see a force token, but I'm sure it will come down at some point here. I will say I did put Brent in charge because he had a bye. We had 9 people at this showdown, and he was in charge of making sure that the scores were updated at the top of the screen. So if he slacks off at any point in time through this video, we'll catch it. Carson goes into base for an additional 2 damage with the X-Wing. Activates Talzin, uses the force, defeats the X-Wing, doing another 2 damage to base. Carson plays a red 5. Definitely don't want to let Luke get onto the red 5. I found Luke to be just, God, he's so annoying. I can't wait for that new job that comes out in the next set, where it's return an upgrade to an opponent's hand. It just defeats all the pilot leaders, every single one of them. And I was a big Poe player, so, but you didn't really care if he got defeated. That's probably why I enjoyed playing that deck. I put down one of those little fighters that I've never used in a deck, but it's relevant. I think it's a 1 cost. If you don't control a fighter, deal a damage to it or something like that. Mackenzie goes into base for an additional 4, gaining the force back. With red 5 out there, that's going to be it for that unit. But 8 to base, not bad. Over 2 turns. We're on 5 resources. Tal's is going to come out this turn. Luke doesn't come out till next turn. I think that fighter that's still standing is a 2/2. So I would probably shrink it before flipping. Shrink it right now, Mackenzie. This is going to be actually really great for Carson and Mackenzie because they've probably never seen... Oh, that's not too bad. Yeah, use the force. That's definitely going to cost you the force. 100%. It only defeats units with 3 or less remaining HP without using the force. 2 to base. No, that's just not right. Yeah, what I was saying was Mackenzie and Carson are going to learn so much from watching this back. Because you never really understand how many misplays happen in a single best of 3 until you start watching your stuff back. And it's not just new players, it's the best in the world players. You may see someone that can't count in round 2 of this showdown. I think it's round 2. Carson activates Luke, dealing in damage to Talzin. Talzin goes into base for 3. Giving the spaceship another -1/-1, but because there's a pilot on there, it doesn't matter at this point. Gaining the force back, but we just have to remember that the... Oh man, I can't even think of names and stuff. Shatterpoint. It only works without using the force if the unit has 3 or less remaining HP. I opted to add in the nice nature sounds in the background with the music, so that when I'm just not talking and I'm just watching the game, I trail off into no man's land. At least there's something to listen to. Because if you've never tried this, it is extremely difficult. Carson is playing, what is that, Stay on Target, I believe. So a 2-cost attack with a vehicle, and if it deals damage to a base, you can draw a card. Mackenzie goes to 15 damage. And Carson exhausts his unit. Good habit to get into, right? Ooh, that's an interesting move. Playing Vader. From hand, no Sheehan Flurry, no targets on the ground for Sheehan Flurry, nor enough resources. But I would imagine that Carson could just activate Luke and knock his own shield off. Is that legit? Oh, that was Judge Brent there weighing in. That was that's an advanced move there for a fairly new player to be pulling stuff like that, knocking out your own shields off. That Vader's so dangerous. Taliesin goes in for another 3, putting Carson to 14. Carson plays a black 1. Poe ship. Good in Luke, great in Poe. And he's not even going to wait. He's just going to flip Luke on there. Have him all ready for next turn. But that does give up the initiative. So Mackenzie ends up with the initiative. This is a lot of damage coming in from space. So Mackenzie's going to have to figure out something to slow this down. And we know we've seen the air superiority. He probably would have maybe protect the pod as ways to deal with ground units or space sentinels when they come out. And then that way he can kind of clear his own path without using his units to attack. So we can just go base. Ooh, no glory, only results. That'll take care of that space unit. Great card, no glory. Especially when someone plays an Annihilator, and then you no glory their Annihilator. And kill their leader. And search their hand in their deck for more leader. I guess it'd be anything, right? So if you killed an Aura Sing leader, then you look at the hand for any more Aura Sings and the deck for any more Aura Sings. Carson goes into base for 1 billion and does 3 damage to Mother Taliesin, putting Mackenzie into check. So this is where Mackenzie literally needs an answer, but Carson has all of his resources ready. There's just nothing that can be done here because he doesn't even have to play anything. We'll see. He did an advanced move there, knocking the shield off. There's only 2 resources left. There's nothing that can take Luke off that ship for 2 resources. Yeah, maybe he didn't need to play this, but he's going to anyway. He's going to knock that shield off of Vader. So now Mackenzie needs to take initiative. Absolutely imperative. Take initiative, see if he can get a Sentinel, or I don't know, maybe he plays a watch this. I'm not sure. We didn't have to submit deck lists or anything for this event. The store actually used to take these much more as a casual event, which I'm sure a lot of stores do, especially if you live in areas where you get all of the PQs. But we only get 1 PQ within a 3 to 4 hour radius of where I live. So, and then any of the PQs outside of that 3 or 4 hour radius are like 10 to 12 hours away. So we end up taking our store showdowns a bit more serious than like stores that are just have all the tournaments around them, the bigger tournaments. All right, let's see what Mackenzie has here. One last hope. Okay. I actually really like that ship. It's a 5/6 Sentinel for 6. So it really comes down to what Carson has in his hand. Protect the pod, kill it. Haymaker. That would do 3 damage to it. Yeah, that's going to do it, because then you can just run the other ship in there, kill it, and then run Luke in for the win. But not bad, Mackenzie. I would say that close. You just have to watch, because Carson could have just taken initiative there, and there would have been nothing you could do. You got to play to your outs. So he's going to take Kid Fisto's Aether Sprite into the Sentinel, killing it. Also killing the Aether Sprite. Leaving a clear path for Black 1 with Luke on it to go to base for game 1 win. You hear the crickets? There's like crickets in the background of this music. It's very soothing. You're supposed to watch our gameplay videos like first thing in the morning. You just wake up, you're sitting, you're drinking your coffee, and you're just like, this is super relaxing. And I can see every card on the table, and it's awesome. Because it's no joke. There we go. There's the fist bump. Game 1 goes to Carson. We're going to sideboard, shuffle up, and go right into game number 2. But with the magic of editing, we don't have to wait. I'm just going to chop, chop, cut, cut. Away we go. I told you. Game 2. Here we go. Mackenzie starting us off with a Secretive Sage. I wonder if Mackenzie plays Commandeer in this deck. Ooh, that's an interesting first play. So they hate that ship. 1 cost, red heroism. What is it? An opponent creates 2 TIE fighter tokens and readies them. Then play a vehicle unit from your hand. It costs 3 less. So 1 for the they hate that ship and 1 to play a 4 cost unit. And then the unit he plays gets to deal damage to a unit equal to the number of space units you control, including itself. So 1 goes to one of the TIE fighters killing it. That's actually a pretty cool first turn play, getting a much bigger ship out there. Mackenzie goes to base with the Secret Sage, making sure that he gets the Force activated. You may as well just run that TIE fighter into that thing. Or to base. The boys don't know yet, but these tokens are all double-sided. Yep. Mackenzie plays a Shinahati. That's not bad for him. He's got 2 shield units out there. Shield to Force units. Pretty critical. That's another one of those Cavern Angel X-Wing, I think it's called. When defeated, deal 2 damage to a base. Mother Talzin, I assume he activated Mother Talzin there. I looked away for a second. And I can't go backwards. I'm recording this voiceover in 1 take. So that's why it may be really good or really crappy. No one will know. Unless you've watched to this point. And if you have, leave a comment. Don't forget, subscribe to our channel. We just passed 600 subscribers like 3 weeks ago. And we're still at like 602. So it'd be really awesome if we could push that up a bit. Also, between you and I, because there's probably not many people watching at this point, we may be live streaming an upcoming PQ, and not from this set. No confirmation yet, but I've heard whispers. Then I have to decide, do I want to sit out of the PQ and do commentating, or do I just set up a live stream and stream it, or do I just record the games and then do voiceover afterwards? Shinahati bumps into the Captain Typho, doing 4 damage, activating the Force. Mother Talzin activates and kills. That A-Wing up there, I can't remember what it's called, went into base for 3. Seeker of Sage goes into base, reactivating the Force. I think they're using Twin Suns Force thing. There's another Secret of Sage for Mother Talzin. All right, we're going to the 5 resource turn. Mother Talzin's deploy. She is in a much better place now than she was in game 1. So let's go, Mackenzie. Bring it home for Mother T. I like that he's the Kylo Ren sleeves. I could see Mother Talzin and Kylo Ren getting along great. Carson sends 3 into base. Putting that... I'm not sure what happened there. Yeah. Why didn't he attack in? Come on, Mackenzie. Yeah, Mackenzie definitely needed to attack in there and not worry about shrinking that ship down. That can happen after you get your 4 damage to base. He's new though, so we're gonna give him a pass, just like you guys are gonna give me a pass in round 2. Kid Fisto's Aether Sprite comes down, removing the shield from the Secret of Sage. That is all of Carson's resources. There was the reason why he shrunk that down. He had a Talzin's Assassin. It's just the order, right? Like he should have just switched up the order a little bit because he had shields on the other 2 units, so he was pretty much guaranteed to get the force back as he needed it. Even deploying Mother Talzin, like he definitely would have got the force. And an additional 4 damage to base. So it's just a little bit of the sequencing that needs to change a little bit. All right, we're going to 6 resource turn. This is Luke's deploy turn. If you're heading to the Galactics, let me know. Someone like hype me up. Get me to actually purchase my ticket. I really want one of like the VIP ones, but that ain't happening. Those sold out like instantly, which is very good for the game. Okay, so Mother Talzin has 11 damage on her base. We've got 11 damage on Luke's base. There is the air superiority, dealing 4 damage to the Talzin's Assassin. Ooh, great play. What is that? Hold for questioning? Yes. Yep, hold for questioning. Get rid of that red 5. Throw it in the trash. Quickly. There we go. Good job, Mackenzie. That's what you definitely wanted to do. Who cares about the ghost? Honestly, Carson, why the heck is the ghost in your deck? That's my question. Sorry for all the noise, folks. I've got a very squeaky chair here. If you can hear that, it just is what it is. No sponsors, you know. I had to steal this from my parents. I hope you're not here for like in-depth game analysis because I don't have it. But I do have a squeaky chair. Look at me, filibustering, just keeping everything. What happened there? Why didn't Mother Talzin attack? Must have another tap down that he wanted to use. Nope. Hyperspace disaster. Heck yeah, Mackenzie. That's what I'm talking about. That's what you do to Luke Skywalkers and Boba the Fett's. You hyperspace disaster them. You try and block them as much as you can. Although I just find the Boba Lake Country and the Boba Data Vault to be so annoying. They're so annoying. I think that ship can remove a upgrade. Like that shield on the Seer Sage. I could be wrong though. Could be wrong. Mother Taliesin goes to base. That's actually a half decent repopulation of space for Carson. But yes, defeating Luke is pretty critical. If Luke stays alive, it just becomes impossible to win that matchup. He just hits for too much, and if he's on a fighter dealing that extra damage, and if, God forbid you get him onto red 5. Although red 5, I mean, the tree remembers really handles that nicely. If you've been following the spoilers, have you guys seen anything you like from the new set, Ashes of the Empire? I cannot wait to get my hands on the 9th Sister. That card looks incredible. Built-in force throw. Freaking incredible. Carson went into base with that little spaceship up there. I wasn't paying attention. I was thinking about the 9th Sister. Carson pings the shield off the Secretive Sage. Yep, Mother Taliesin goes into base for an additional 3, giving the ghost minus. What is that ship? Is that a when played deals some damage to something? It's like a plot. You can plot it out. I didn't get into the plots much. Although I did like that set. Alright, the Space Sentinel is proving to be very difficult for Carson to deal with here. Okay, Carson's on 19 damage now. Do you push damage with that Space Sentinel? Okay. Mackenzie has the initiative. Okay, he's got... Okay, he's going to hold for questioning that ship. Yeah, I think you get rid of the blue leader. Sending in 3 damage. Yeah, I would just hit base with that thing. It's not going to survive. Do you know what? I would attack with Mother Taliesin and then give that little spaceship -1/-1. Because then I would put it at a reach of the ghost, right? The ghost and then the Luke ping. It's got Carson's base up to 24. It's looking much better. Ooh, an early activation. Okay. Now Mother Taliesin can go in and give it minus. Yeah. We're getting in the danger zone here. Carson's base is up to 27 to 16. Still a little ways to go. There's red 5. So I would probably just claim. Unless I got like another giant unit. He's got 4 resources left. It's possibly. he's going to make a play. No glory, only results. Okay. I don't hate it. Carson takes initiative, so that will give Carson the out from that. I don't hate the no glory, but I also don't love it because he could have probably just taken initiative and then won by attacking in with the Space Sentinel first. And then they would have to have an answer for Mother Talzin. Plus, you'd have all your ready resources. So if a Sentinel came down or something like that, there might have been, whether it's a Shatter Point or something that you could use Mother Talzin. Maybe Lost and Forgotten. I'm not sure exactly what he plays. I believe he could have attacked in with the red 5 and then dealt the on attack trigger first, killing that unit and then taking 0 back, keeping his other ship out there. Both ships with no damage. But if I'm wrong, let me know. That attack from Talzin brings Carson's base up to 30. 3 left. So Mother Talzin is showing lethal. Carson's able to get a few more. Yeah, that'll take care of that. That's probably game. Like, you'd have to have a bunch of Sentinels. I don't know, playing a spaceship right now is the right thing to do. Take initiative. He took it. Who took initiative? Did it take the initiative counter? Or maybe they did. I got a really killer idea for like a competition playmat. You guys will see that in the near future. All right, there we go. Mackenzie takes this one. That was a pretty long slog of a game. 18 minutes left though. They got tons of time to do game 3. And with the magic of editing, you know what we're going to do. We're just going to cut out all of the sideboard, etc. interaction. And we're going to jump right into game 3. There we go. Game 3. Carson starts us off with the black 1. Oh, no. Mackenzie had no play. It happens. Not only do you need your deck to allow you to play the way it's supposed to play, you also need your... I don't even know if that was a great play for a turn 2 play. That's a tough decision. I'd probably want to get rid of blue leader, but I also want to get rid of that blue or that 4-cost ship. A unit, no matter what. Like, that's what you want to get rid of, a unit. Yeah. It allows them to play the blue leader out now. Oh. Saving the blue leader for... He wants to use it as the 5-cost. I get that. I don't like throwing a 3-1 out when Talzin's on the scene, though. It will at least get a attack in. Maybe even 2 attacks, so maybe it's not bad. Keeping Mackenzie off the force here for the first 3 turns is pretty damn good. Shin Hati comes down. So right now we're looking at 5 damage on board. The Outer Rim Constable goes into base for 3. Does he have a pilot or something for... Okay, Captain Typho comes down, blocking the ground arena. And that might keep the Outer Ring Constable around for a little bit. He should be able to get a ton of damage this next turn. Like, you basically just got to sacrifice the Shinhati into the Captain Typho, gaining the forest because you need it desperately. Then he'll attack in with the Captain Typho. Then use Mother Talzin's ability to kill the Captain Typho. Or you could probably use it to kill the Outer Rim Constable before he attacks. And then I'm not even sure. Could you do the on attack with Mother Talzin, give -1 on the attack to the Captain Typho, killing him without taking any damage back and saving your base 3 damage? He's got to mitigate damage, right? Lots of thoughts happening here. Zero damage, though, on Carson's base. He's sitting pretty darn good right now with a huge board advantage. Mackenzie goes into the Captain Typho, 4 damage. So this is where it is. So it's like, do you do the -1 to the Outer Rim Constable? Or are you okay taking 3 more damage? Plus black 1 damage. Plus he has 5 ready resources. I think I just killed that Outer Rim. Stay on target. So that's going to be +2. Hits base, gets draw a card. So it's 5 more damage to base. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's just getting whooped. Not really having a turn 1 and 2 play is pretty brutal. Then I think Mackenzie was prioritizing getting rid of the Sentinel right away, and he was willing to accept getting hit to base a lot. And that's pretty rough. So I mean, here it's like, do you just attack into the Outer Rim Constable and give the -1 to that ship? Because you're going to take another 2. No, it goes to base. Because you're going to take another 2 damage, right, to base just off of that ship, no matter what. And now there's the potential that you're going to take 4 damage because it's going to get an attack in. Oh, did he not give the -1 to anything? Oh no, Mackenzie, you're going to learn so much from watching this back. I actually think you played this fairly well, and there was possibly a path here for you to win. Also, I'd like to point out that Brent failed us in keeping the scores updated. It says 1-0 for Carson, but it is actually 1-1, and we know that because I edit things, and you guys saw it go into Game 3 and Game 2, but mainly Game 3 because that's where the 1 versus 1. I think I swoop in here at the end and I fix the score like right at the end because my game ends up finishing up. I think I actually got whooped, and I was sitting across a room contemplating life and the choices I made. I think the writing's on the wall, though. This is not going to end well. When Luke flips, Sintikaz hits base for 1 million, does 3 damage to Talzin. See, right now, Talzin is looking at way too much damage. Talzin should have just went into the Outer Rim Constable I think he missed the -1/-1 again. That might be 2 misses on the -1/-1. But that's something that you just learn, right? Because I'm pretty sure it's a may. Here, I have Mother Taliesin sitting right here. Let's read what she says. On attack, you may give a unit -1/-1 for this phase. Yeah, you don't have to. I mean, if you're playing your best friend and you're just like, you know what, best friend, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to let you flood the board. Oh, he had a Space Sentinel too. So imagine, because now he would have had to sacrifice his Mother Taliesin, but he would have had only Luke out there and the Space Sentinel, which would have gave him a chance. He would have had a chance because he could have drawn all 3 of those Space Sentinels if he plays them all. Anyway, that's going to wrap this one up. It's going to go 2 games to 1 for Carson. Great job, Carson. You played that really well. You've definitely come a long way on this Luke Data Vault list and gameplay. So pumped that you were able to take this one down 2 games to 0. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, folks. Help us reach, what are we at, 602? Let's just aim for 700. I'd love to hit 1,000, but we're just aiming for 700. So I think that's going to wrap this one up. Don't forget to stay tuned for the next video. I believe it's me and Brent. Catch you guys in the next one.